Here, head coach Brad Laird, National Signing Day 2022, version 2, I guess, if you want to put it that way, in the books. Coach, if there's a theme to this year's class, it certainly seems like it's balance.
Yeah, I mean, I think you go back and with the two signing periods, you really combine them both, and that's kind of what makes this, this class. And as you look back, you see balance. When you look at the 19 young men that we have signed, and 10 offensive guys and 9 defensive guys that we feel like that has the opportunity to come in here and compete and help this football team in the fall.
Well, you talked about balance, even sort of balanced on either side of the ball. You've got 4 running backs, 4 receivers, a couple of offensive linemen on the offensive side. And again, you fill holes and you replace guys that left, and it seems like you did that with this class.
Yeah, I mean, I think first, you look at receivers, quality receivers that we lost last year, and trying to replace them, and then schematically with what the direction we're going offensively, we wanted to make sure that we were able to get some receivers in here, and we did that, and we'll continue to work towards that. And you see the 4 running backs and the ability that those 4 guys have, not just to be able to line up and run the football, but to be able to catch the football as well, do a lot of different things with them. So, not necessarily just seeing them in the backfield, but other things that they're going to be able to do. And then, we're able to get a couple of old linemen, and in that position will continue to be a work in progress as far as recruiting as we go through the spring and into the summer.
We talked about the running backs, and you got 4, and you mentioned the change schematically. We learned last year you can never have too many of those guys, no matter what it says on August 31st.
Yeah, if it's, just, being a true running back, or being able to split out and do a lot of different things like these guys are going to be able to do. And so, I think there's so many options that we have with a lot of positions, but if you just look at that running back core group, that, some quality players returning, combined with some quality young men that we're bringing in.
Defensively, again, pretty balanced all through all 3 levels.
Yeah, we talked about it. We have 9 guys that we signed, and it's about as balanced as you can get from the front end all the way to the back end. We've got 3 defensive linemen, and you look schematically going to a 4-man front. So we had to fill some holes from a defensive line standpoint. We felt like we did that. Linebacker-wise, again, able to sign 3 and then 3 defensive backs. And so, predominantly safeties, as we go, schematically with what we're going to do, needing to add some safeties to the group, and we were able to do that.
Always interesting when you look through some of the guys you've signed and see their ties to here. You've got a kid from Manny who played for a state title and won a state title on this field about 14 months ago. You've got a younger brother of a former Demon quarterback. So some interesting ties, obviously what they do on the field, but also some neat history with the school off the field.
Yeah, Manny, not too long ago, a little over a year, playing for the state championship here in Turpin Stadium, and to be able to get London with us. And then you look at Alexandria Senior High and Ash and T.J. Johnson that played receiver, again here playing for a state championship, and him being 40 miles down the road was huge get for us. And then when you look at the family connection to the university, and you look at Danny Sears and what his family has meant to this university, for him to be able to come in and have the opportunity to follow in that family legacy. So not only good football players, but good storylines for the future.
Then one thing that kind of gets left out, the staff always does such a wonderful job at such a hectic time, probably even more so this year with the staff changes, but the job Josh Jones did as the recruiting coordinator, kind of taking over in short notice, putting this together along with the new assistant coaches coming in and kind of melding in what had to be a very chaotic time.
Yeah, it was. Whenever you bring in a new staff and what the existing staff did in December, to be able to get guys signed during that time, really without coordinators on either side of the ball, was, started with Coach Jones and the job he did as a recruiting coordinator, but the job that the other coaches did and the time that they spent on the road going to a lot of different places that they had to go to, and then tying the existing staff with the new staff as we kind of went into that second recruiting period after the new year. And so it was, definitely different when, the approach, because schematically, a lot of things have changed from the early signing period until this signing period. And as you look at our recruiting class, you'll continue to see us add pieces to the puzzle as we continue to move forward.
All right. Appreciate it, Coach.